This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show. Are you ready, Brian?
Are you ready, Brian?
I'm ready, Brian.
I'm not ready, Brian.
It's a new year, new pee. Is that what they say? That's where you pee. The first time you pee in the new year.
New time, new year.
New time, new poo. New time.
New year, new pee. New time, new poo.
New you, new poo.
We are doing great.
This is good. This is good content. Did you miss us?
The answer is yes.
You always do. You always will. Because, psych, this isn't a real podcast episode. We're not really here.
Oh.
This is fake. You're dreaming right now.
Yep.
We haven't returned. We're not coming back till May.
I've heard stories.
Yeah, we might be back till May. Welcome back to Jump on the Bat-Wagon, everybody. I'm James, and I'm here to show my friend Brian the entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time in the controversial... Wait, I just put the sound back on. The controversial airdate order. So you may view these shows the way human beings experienced them in the far gone days of the 1990s. You remember what it's about?
And I'm Brian.
And I'm Brian. We recommend you watch today's DCAU episode before listening to this podcast to get the full experience about our discussion. At the time of this recording, Batman the Animated Series is available to stream on HBO Max and available on DVD and Blu-ray. I figured I would tell the folks at home how they can watch it because sometimes people are like, how do I watch it? So I was like, I'll tell you.
And you say, I'll tell you. You go to Google.
You type in torrent Batman the Animated Series, please. And it goes, no, that's illegal.
Then you go to Napster or whatever.
limewire.com/Batman. And there it is. And please, if you send in mail or leave a comment, do not spoil anything past this episode for Brian. Okay?
Yeah. And I'm Brian.
And yeah. You got it. Now, last episode, Mask of the Phantasm, I didn't say what the next episode was called. And I don't remember if I did that on purpose or an accident. We'll say it's on purpose. I'm going to give you the title now, and you can give your prediction. Is that the word? I'm stupid. Synopsis. That's later.
Prediction.
The episode is called House and Garden.
House and Garden?
Mm-hmm. There's a cat in here. Speak, cat.
The more we acknowledge her, the more she's going to meow.
Okay. Ignore the cat, everyone. Don't speak to the cat through the podcast.
I'm looking at you, people who talk to cats.
.com.
House and what?
Garden.
House and Garden.
What do you think?
It's probably going to be about a house in a garden. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
It's like a home decorating show. We're not actually watching Batman. We're watching like HGTV or whatever.
You have no guess.
House and Garden. Oh. It's a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy episode. No? Or not Poison...
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yes, Poison Ivy.
Yeah. That part's right.
The Harley Quinn part's not?
No.
She lives in a house, though. Is it a green?
Okay.
Is it a greenhouse?
I see where you're pulling from. I see like the combo.
Yeah.
It's two different things. Well, you'll find out. You'll see. Okay?
Okay.
This aired originally Monday, May 2nd, 1994 at 4:30 p.m. on Fox.
It was almost your birthday.
It was almost, sort of. This is the 70th produced episode and the 66th to air. Right?
Ow. Ouch. My brain.
Owie. A house and a garden coexisting, cats and dogs living together. Writer Paul Dini. Notably, Heart of Ice, Almost Got Him, The Man Who Killed Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Director, Boyd Kirkland. Notably, Pretty Poison, Perchance to Dream, Beware the Grey Ghost, I Am the Night, Harley and Ivy. Music by Shirley Walker and animation by Dong Yang.
Yes.
Who've been the animation company for the last several episodes.
They're doing it.
They're Dong and they're Yangin'.
Dong and yang.
They dong the yangs, they yang the dongs. Do they? I don't really know. What are we considering that to be? Anyway, we go watch the episode, and then we come back, we talk about it. Yeah, that's what we do?
Hey,
that's
man.
how the podcast works, I think. I don't remember. It's been a while. It's been a while.
We can't do loud singing anymore. We destroyed our voices last night.
They're surprisingly decent. Yeah, we did karaoke late into the night, and we screamed.
We sure did. On behalf of Robert Sterling.
On only half of Robert Sterling.
Not the other half,
The other half. He's two-faced. He's split vertically. One half sang some rock band songs I only know from Rock Band that you were just disappointed in that I only knew them from Rock Band. The other half wasn't there. It's just one half of it. Can you shut up, cat?
Can you?
I'm sorry.
Just ignore the cat rubbing on your arm, okay?
I can't. All right, let's watch Batman.
Okay, let's do that.
Whatever.
Can we watch cartoons?
After your homework.
This is a dead end. I haven't found anything that...
There are laws against spying on people.
There are laws against poisoning them, too.
Look around, Batman. I've got a nice house, a little garden, and a family that loves me. Why would I jeopardize that? For the first time in my life, I'm happy.
I'm beginning to think you're right.
Batman, good luck.
You too, Mrs. Carlyle.
Hi. You.
What? You want to do a different harmony?
Weird. Hi.
Oh wait,
that was the
you're
same thing.
singing.
I sang the same note.
One more time.
Hi. As we do the same note.
Yeah, but I went
note.
down this time.
Yeah, okay. That's true. You're right. Well, Brian, we watched House and Garden. Now I finally get to hit the synopsis button, brought to you by Cooney Phoenix. You want to hear the synopsis song?
I do.
This is where Brian... Okay, I'm going to set it up for you, okay?
Okay.
Brian,
yes.
Tell me what happened in House and Garden. Oh, what the fuck? Why? Tell me what happened in House and Garden.
Synyop, synyop. If you're wondering, synyop, synyop. What you just watched, synyop, synyop. Take a listen to the synopsis. The short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
Yay.
Oh, fuck. I love that.
I was so happy, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Cooney Phoenix.
Thank
I
you.
requested it and it happened.
That's so cool. I love it.
So what did happen in the House
I
and Garden?
can't
I know,
follow
you're
that.
distracted now.
Come on. Oh,
Yeah, just play this one.
yeah. Thank you. Got to bring me back to my
Earth.
humility. Whatever.
Your house and garden.
I got to bring you back to my house and garden. This is not my house nor my garden.
No, we're in a different place.
We are, but we're in the same
We're in
place.
the same place. We can touch. Brian high-fived my fingertip. Proof. You all saw it.
Okay, so wow. To start us off, there's an evil sloth who's
I knew you were going to do that. The big cactus boy is crawling up the wall, and you're like, sloth? It's a sloth. A sloth creature? It's green. It must be covered in moss. You know sloths do that, right? You're like, won't shut up
Algae.
about it being a sloth.
It's algae. Okay, sloths are amazing.
Do they really do that?
Yeah. They're like three-toed sloths are like commonly green.
All right, I believe you.
Okay. Anyways,
Sloths crawling up
so
there,
there's some like sloths breaking into stuff. Why was he breaking into the?
I guess to steal money for experiments or something. It wasn't
Okay.
really clear. I don't
Cool.
think. They probably said it in one line that we were talking over or something.
Maybe. So there's
We watched these episodes.
We
Don't
watched
worry.
them. Don't worry. Synyop.
Synyop.
Can you play that again?
Synyop, synyop. If you're wondering, synyop,
So
synyop.
good.
What you just watched, synyop, synyop. Take a listen to the synopsis. the short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
There's a little
I know, the little bell is just really the cherry on top. Oh my God, I love that. All right.
I wish I had a button for the official synopsis just to piss you off.
Oh,
apparently you hate that.
Just like starting it off with Bugs Bunny now, and I'm just thinking, oh god, it's so gross.
We're watching Looney Tunes.
Oh,
He's in a tuxedo.
sure.
Look how funny.
If it was Batman eating a carrot, I'd be like more okay with it.
You seen the Batman eating a hot dog video?
No.
And it's like a 10-second animation of Batman eating a hot dog.
No.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
It's not anything weird, sexual or anything. It's
Not
just
for you.
sloths are climbing a building.
So there's some sloth breaking into a building, and some people are getting poisoned. Some rich bachelors are getting bacheled or whatever.
Get their
burgled.
money taken or something.
Yeah, they're getting bacheled, and the hospital's like keeping these people alive that keep getting sloth poisoned, but they're like, we don't know what it is, and Batman's like, it's poison ivy. And they're like, no, she's good. Let's go look. And then like Gordon and Batman go to Poison Ivy's house, and she's like, I'm good. Look. And he's like, wow, that's amazing.
I'm
She's
married.
good, but I don't believe you. You're married and you got kids that aren't your own kids, but they're your kids. We're going to find out later.
What did you think? Oh, never mind. I was thinking because you said like, oh no. And I thought, like, has he already figured it out? What the fuck? How? There's no way. It was a completely unrelated thing.
It was an unrelated thing. So, yeah, Poison Ivy's married into a family, whatever. Everything is peachy keen. Can't figure out what's going on. Robin then ended up getting sloth napped.
Mm-hmm.
And
they don't really explain why he's okay. Like, the other guy gets slapped. What?
They did. He said, like, luckily he only hit you with his fist or whatever. I only got fisted. He didn't scratch me. I was only fisted.
Only fisted.
Is what Robin said.
Yeah. My dick was only fisted. They said dick so much in this
They
episode.
They did.
It's not about the money. All that counts is getting dick back or whatever it says. God damn it. And then
I went to my college dorm, and then
Dick was gone.
I heard a sound and had to come back for dick.
And dick was gone.
I'm just dickless.
There's no dick at all. The sloth took my dick. Is that the subtitle? Commissioner Gordon, it's okay. We'll get your dick back.
Don't worry, honey. There'll be dick for you before you know it.
I did miss the line saying that because I was thinking like guy with the Hugh Hefner robe that bursts in with his shotgun or whatever. Who's here?
Yeah.
He got like touched and died or something. Like he got.
But you didn't get to see
poisoned.
the blood. I was trying to figure out what happened. He
There
just
were
kind of
weird, like,
went
red
down.
flashes or something. Yeah. But then I was like, why is Dick okay, but not that guy? But
The other guy's just not sturdy as Dick.
No, he's no. I'm not going to continue this. Please.
Yeah, you are.
I will, but not right this second. Continue what happens in the episode.
So where did I leave off?
Dick got kidnapped. Dick napped.
This is one of the longer ones Cooney was singing about.
Sometimes kind of long. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this time?
Don't.
The dick. Anyway, we're children. Welcome back to Jump on the Bat-Wagon, everybody. Again, did you miss us?
There's so many like just like dick adjacent jokes.
There's some sexual things going on in this episode, which we'll talk about. But
yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
so Dick napped.
no children listening to this podcast episode.
Definitely not.
Don't listen to any of them.
So
Anyway.
there's going to be a change, and the Batman's going to give the Sloth money, and he's going to get Dick back. Mm-hmm. And then the Sloth's like, no way, there's no Dick for you. And then he like beats up Batman, who's wearing a claw-proof vest, falls himself into the water.
He's wearing like a burlap sack around his shoulders. We're supposed to assume that's like a bulletproof vest or something. I don't know.
It's a sloth-proof vest.
He falls in the water. He should be okay, but he's not.
Well, he was okay. He was perfectly fine.
No,
And then he's like, aha, I've got my bat jet ski, under the dock here. And he then like, I guess the Sloth's going to throw Robin Dick into the ocean thing, and he's not going to be okay because he's all tied up.
Right.
And then here comes Batman, and he's just jetting on his ski up and out of the water. And
it jets a while.
Yeah.
It's like flying for a second.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. I need to wrap this one up. I'm meandering through
you're
this.
good.
I'm out of practice. It's been like at least 5 months.
It's been 5 months.
Yeah.
From December to May.
Oof, God
Here we
forbid.
are in May right now.
May. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah. May flowers.
May, yeah.
Like the ship with the pilgrims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Can we say pilgrims anymore? Have they taken that from us?
I hope so.
Okay.
It's not that accurate, actually. Like half of them were like damn near slave, like indentured servants. Like,
cool.
Oh, go to the new world and you're going to like get these supplies for us and send it back to England.
Poison Ivy said slave in this episode.
Oh, hell yeah.
I liked it.
Cool. What did she mean by it?
I think we know.
Okay. How do I wrap this up in like one sentence?
They go back to Poison Ivy's house, and there's a secret basement.
There you go. Do you want to finish it?
And they go in the secret basement, and there's a tub full of guys.
No, you got to wrap it at one sentence.
Oh, okay.
They go back to her house. There's a bunch of bad guys. They get killed by herbicide. The Batman made happen, and then turns out Poison Ivy got away.
You're kind of skipping over the most like impactful stuff of the episode.
Yeah, wrapping it up.
What we'll talk about. Okay, here's the official synopsis from Warner Brothers. Okay, not only has Poison Ivy been released from Arkham Asylum, she's also married her doctor and settled down to help him raise his 2 sons.
By the way, there's like a real legal issue with that.
Yeah. If someone, they don't mention that until he's being pulled out of the water and he says it like, I was her doctor. Commissioner Gordon doesn't say like, she married a doctor. Like that would be a little more suspicious than just like,
did you
it's
know
a guy.
That, like, I can't remember what that's called, but like I found out from a friend that you cannot befriend even a therapist for like several years after like care is canceled because of that kind of reason.
Because
so
you
like
could in preference or something.
Just a thing, yeah.
Still, wealthy Gotham bachelors are being poisoned and robbed in ways that exactly mirror Ivy's old crimes. The attacks take a personal turn when Bruce Wayne's ward, Dick, Robin, Grayson, is kidnapped by the mysterious... That's like the strange secretion of Bruce Robin Wayne.
Yeah.
It's in parentheses. Kidnapped by the mysterious assailant. Is Ivy responsible? And if so, how can Batman prove it? That's a little bit okay of a synopsis.
That's
of
pretty
like
good.
Setting it up but not giving the answer. So yeah, we have the secret basement. They go down in there and they're like, so was this a moment where you thought? I think you thought you knew what was going on, but they kind of changed your mind a little. Like you, I think, assumed this was like a plant version of Man-Bat or that kind of thing because you were like, oh, you made a joke of when Batman slices his like nail things off, like, oh, when he turns back into a human, he's just gonna have no fingers. Yeah. And I sat here like, he thinks he's gonna turn back into a human. Like, well, little does he know that's the end of his multi-layered life cycle. But there's no like, it's a lot creepier, I think. Than you might have expected.
I thought it was the husband.
Yeah.
At my very first like inklings, I thought the husband was doing it aside from Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Which was wrong. Actually, everything I assumed was wrong.
Yeah.
But I did assume that was the husband, which it kind of was. And yeah, sure. I thought that he was going to turn back, which is like when we saw him coming out of the drink there. Mm-hmm. It was like,
she's made so when she's explaining it, this is I'll just say off the top, this is one of the 2 Poison Ivy episodes on the Poison Ivy VHS tape.
Oh, okay.
So I had this and the Robin tape, which was the 2 Robin's Reckoning halves, as a kid. So I've seen this, and Eternal Youth was the other Poison Ivy episode on the tape, where Alfred and his girlfriend going to the spa and getting turned into trees. So I've seen that and this Poison Ivy episode like way more than most Batman episodes.
Okay.
But I've seen it the majority of times as a child, so I'm not really like paying attention to like the details of what's going on. I'm just like, Batman's fighting Cactus Man. Okay, cool.
Sloth Man.
Yes. Oh, Sloth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sloth Cactus Sloth from the indigenous
Slactus.
I don't know. But Poison Ivy's coming down on the vines, and she's like, blah blah blah, the thing, my plan, and she says Steven provided the raw materials for my experiments. I'm like, his cum. She's talking about his cum. Like, I'd never realized that before. Like, she's very, like, slyly saying that. And then later...
I didn't actually pick that up.
She's also, after that, says something like, they're just talking about they couldn't because of his or it's mixed with his DNA. I somehow hadn't, like... realized or like understood until watching it this time. It's probably very obvious to anyone else, but that the plants are like part human or whatever. Like they're made with whatever. Like here's Stephen Carlisle's semen plus plants, and they make plant creatures or whatever.
Dude, that's a stretch for you, you know.
I know. Because
you had that whole like joke, like your DNA was everywhere in River Watchtower.
Not remotely what I meant. Yeah. We'll get to that in a long time. But so I was thinking, I just now realized that basically that's what they're made of. So that fixed an issue with the episode for me, which also as a child watching Pokemon a lot, there was this whole like episode where Ash is battling a plant Pokemon and Pikachu keeps electrocuting it, and the electricity just goes down into its roots and then into the ground and like dissipates, and it's not affected by the electricity. Yeah. So Batman shocking the big sloth guys with electricity, I've always been like, what the fuck? Like that wouldn't work. I watched Pokemon. But knowing now that they're like part human, I'm like, okay, I guess I can sort of let this pass now. Also, all of this is made up. Whatever.
I guess the physics of that would be more that they're not like literally grounded.
Well, okay, I guess so. But just thinking like grass type Pokemon aren't affected by electric attacks. This doesn't work. Yeah,
that's the Pokeverse. This is the the Sloth-iverse verse.
Yeah, I wish this universe had a name that we could call it. I guess we'll have to say Slothiverse.
Yeah, I think
there's been a bunch of sloths so far.
Yeah,
there was more sloths per capita in this episode than there have yet to be. But yeah, I don't know. That's my thought on that. That's my entire thought there.
Sick.
Yeah. You said you liked some of the glowy lights and stuff in this.
Yeah, we could talk about that with Keen Effects, though.
You're right. How do we do this, Bug?
I do not remember.
I don't remember.
It's been 5 months.
It's been 5 months. It's May now.
Is it your birthday? When in May is it?
18th.
Oh my God, it's your birthday.
It's my birthday right now.
We should go drink 18 beers.
We do, for May 18th. Yeah. You see? I do have a couple presents to give you.
Oh no. Can we not?
But we can do it next podcast episode.
No,
so a week from now.
Not at all.
It's just not at all? Oh, okay. No present. You don't get presents.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the cast of this episode.
Okay.
Kevin Conroy as Batman.
Batman.
Yay. Lauren Lester as Dick Robin Grayson. No, it just says Robin.
Dick Man.
Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon Man. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred
Man.
Jim Cummings as Saunders. I'm not sure who Saunders was. Was that the doctor that they're talking to at like the start of the episode? Who else talks in this episode?
What's the name of her husband?
Stephen.
Oh, Saunders.
Stephen Saunders, of course. No, it's weird because he's like definitely the sloth also, but he's not credited as, unless the sloth's name is Saunders. Saunders the sloth. They just give him a name in the credits. I see. They start off looking like kids. Then they resemble Mr. Carlisle or Dr. Carlisle. And then in its final form, it's Saunders the sloth. As I suspected. Jim Cummings was previously Tigress and Garth in Tiger. Dick's out for Garth. And Jekko the Clown in Be a Clown, which was the clown that the Joker took over his van from.
Sorry, I forgot about Dick's out for
Dick's out for Garth, of course. How could you forget?
I don't know.
Scott McAfee as Chris Carlisle. So one of the kids gets credited.
But not the other?
Oh, no, they are, but way lower. He is Littlefoot in Land Before Time 2, 3, and 4.
Oh.
And additional voices in Avatar The Last Airbender, Howl's Moving Castle, Freakazoid, and Animaniacs.
Sweet.
Child actor person. Megan Mullally as Cindy, which was the chick in Dick's dorm. Dick is gone.
She's famous.
She's Mrs. Stinson in one episode of How I Met Your Mother. She's Chief in 66 episodes of Children's Hospital. Gail in Bob's Burgers.
That must be
maybe.
it.
Karen Walker in Will and Grace, Tammy 2 in Parks and Recreation.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, she
Yeah.
is a person.
Wait, isn't she... Wait, she's... Oh, my God.
She's from Will and Grace and Parks and Rec. That's what I know her
No,
from.
she's the wife of...
Yeah, the guy that plays Ron
What the
Swanson.
fuck is his name?
In real life, she's also his wife. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember his
She's
name.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, my poor brain.
So she's my dick was gone in this episode. Paul Nakuchi as Doctor. So who the fuck is Saunders? It must be the Sloth. Who else talked? No one else talked to this. I don't think. He's acupuncturist and Chow the Elder in 2 episodes of Legend of Korra. He is Hanzo.
Nick Offerman.
Thank you. He is Nick Offerman. Yeah. He's Hanzo in Overwatch. English voice of Jang in Squid Game. He was like a bad man. Did you watch Squid Game?
No, I didn't.
The bad guy. The guy that's all gross and bad.
Don't know him.
The Matrix Path of Neo video game as Red Pill Herb Shop owner. Jesus. I had a stroke there in the middle.
Munchie wants you to throw that for her.
Okay. And he's mostly done video game work for the likes of Saints Row, World of Warcraft, Battlefield, Diablo 3, Call of Duty, Spider-Man 3, Lost Planet 2 and 3, and Cars 2 the game as Shu Todoroki, which is a Japanese racing car.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Diane Pershing as Poison Ivy. Christopher Pickering as Kelly Carlisle, only acting credit. I think that was the younger child.
Okay.
And Peter Strauss as Dr. Stephen Carlisle. He plays a character named Justin, captain of the guard in Secret of Nim. Mm-hmm. This is like the handsome rat. I don't know how you describe it. I don't have a thing for rats, don't worry. Sloths, though, you know. President James Sanford in Triple X State of the Union. That's the Ice Cube one.
Oh, nice.
Voice of Moses in the multi-part Kids 10 Commandments DTV movie series.
You can just stop. It's okay.
And additional voices on Men in Black, the animated series, Godzilla, the series, Real Monsters,
Ooh.
and Duckman,
Private Dick. Again, how is everyone in that show?
Everyone's in that show.
Oh my God.
You thought I was lying, but everyone's in that show. You want some trivs?
Nick Offerman.
Limited trivs. You got very small trivs.
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman plays John Swanson, I almost said. In Poison Ivy's photo album at the end of the episode that you were talking while it was happening, moments from several past episodes are depicted. A photo of Harvey Dent when he approved the construction of Stone Gate Penitentiary as seen in Pretty Poison. A photo of the Rosakai Vularis from that same episode, which I remember meant normal rose. And a photo of Harley and Ivy from their headline-grabbing crime spree in the episode Harley and Ivy.
I did clock that one, but that's the only one.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that their wedding thing said something different on the zoom out than it did in the zoom in.
What was it?
Not English.
Just married or whatever.
Something like that.
Newlywed. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Dick Grayson's girlfriend Cindy would return in the first issue of the Batman and Robin Adventures tie-in comic book in November 1995, the first of a two-parter called Two-Timer that was originally considered for the BTAS movie before settling on what would eventually become Batman Mask of the Phantasm. We almost saw more Cindy, but we didn't get more Cindy.
Poop.
She's redheaded in the comic, too, probably incorrectly, I don't know. Throw the thing for the cat, the cat's here.
Oh, my God. Oh,
Jesus Christ! A sloth man just came through the door and slashed Brian across the sternum.
it's okay. I'm wearing a burlap sack.
Don't worry. Oh my God.
Is that still ringing?
A little bit, yeah. Sorry, headphone users. Who cares?
Wow. I care.
The last tribs I have originally wasn't on here. Maddie's been going through a bunch of like old magazines and stuff that we have and adding trivs to the wiki, so I was able to grab a new trib, so thank you, Maddie. In the February 1994 issue of Cinefantastique, Paul Dini noted that Pamela's sterility was inspired by Denny O'Neill's Poison Tomorrow. I picked up on it. If her body rejects all infection or outside contamination, her body is a self-contained little hyperimmunity system, so she can't get pregnant. Paul feared that Fox would pull the plug on the episode due to this subject matter. I thought Fox would never let me even hint at her sterility.
Wow, that's bullshit.
But it got just like one sentence. So they may not have noticed. I don't know. They're probably pretty strict about it.
Wouldn't pregnancy still be self-contained though?
I guess, but maybe just the ability to get pregnant. You know, the Carlisle cum couldn't make its way. I'm going to stop saying that.
Please do. I'm upset.
I know.
Our sponsors are going to pull out of this
they're going
episode.
to pull out, are you saying? Oh, my goodness. Welcome back to Jump on the Bat-Wagon, everybody.
5
Did
months
you miss
later.
us? Okay, let's move on to the stuff that we do every episode. Yeah?
Yeah.
Keen effects.
Headlights.
Headlights
Next.
were good. The flashlights were cool too. They're little bat flashlights going down the stairs and stuff. It was one of the I think it was Dan.
Oh
Reba.
yeah, when they were crossing over each other,
Yeah.
there's a really neat. Yeah.
I think it was Dan Reba telling us about like there's not any extra light in that. It's that they have like a black transparency mat over where the flashlights aren't, and they like remove it to show the actual room.
That is batty.
It's cool. And then also I liked the like hidden in shadow sloth cactus man until you see his face, and then he looks way stupider when you actually see him.
Oh yeah, he's way scarier before you see him.
Like, don't move or your neck gets a new air hole. And then when you see him on the dock and Bruce Wayne has this like horrified face, I'm like, no, he looks goofy as hell.
He looks like he belongs in Animaniacs.
Yeah, he's like a Warner Brothers character.
Yeah.
He's not. We're
Animaniacs and Slothman.
And Slothman. Yeah, anything else keen in this visually? It was just, though, animation in general was pretty good and pretty on model or whatever.
It was, you can say on model, but we talked about this during the episode.
There's a difference.
Batman in daytime suburbs hanging in a tree is the most
jarring,
awkward thing. It is. I didn't realize how necessary it was to have Batman in like a
Nighttime,
dark, foggy city.
Yeah.
Just like broad daylight, literally just standing in a tree.
Where's the thing? Oh, my God. Cat's playing fetch in the background.
Yeah, Munchie's really good at that.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple other times that come to mind that are Batman in daylight that also is like,
I think if that's a thing that actually exists, I think you're lying. If it's a thing that actually exists, I demand that we turn the brightness on the TV down to
shots.
0
Yeah.
and the saturation down to like -70, and then it'll be fine.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think we'll just watch it.
Oh God,
Sorry about that.
do we have to?
Batman also, standing in a tree, like they don't show how tall the tree is, but it just seems like a tree. It looks like a tree that would just be like planted next to a sidewalk or something. Like some guy's just walking, and he just looks barely up and sees Batman standing there. What the fuck? What are you doing? Why are you there?
Yeah, a guy comes in and Batman's about 1.5 feet taller,
And he's the camera pulls back and he's 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
One also like when he's in the bell tower or whatever with like a church or something, he's just standing on top of looking down. He's barely hidden, and he's this big like black demon man in broad daylight standing on the thing. She's buying brown squash, Alfred.
Yeah, she's buying potatoes. Potato shaped squash, shaped and colored. That's the other thing that that was, I think, one of the most frustrating things for me during the episode was like Batman's like, I've been following her all day. She hasn't done anything wrong. Like bad guys aren't inherently doing only bad things every waking minute of the day. Like she's going out and buying groceries. She's like dropping the kids off at school. Like what?
Yeah.
So maybe like pay attention in like the after hours after the kids go to bed.
Yeah, he's like, I've been tailing her all morning.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen anything weird. She woke up and went to the store. I guess she must be telling the truth. She's totally fine.
I think there's some really bad like conceptual stuff in this episode because the number one rule of like stalking like predators and stuff is camouflage.
Do you know this from practice?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, Batman just in a tree.
Like a puma wouldn't be in the Arctic because like a big black blot on like the white landscape is a bad idea. And here's Batman like standing in front of like a brick building in like a bright summer afternoon.
Yeah, he's that guy in Grandma's Boy. How did she see me? I don't know if you've seen that. He's like practicing like camouflage. He's just standing against a wall, like perfectly still. There's weird. This isn't a keen effect. This is like more music related, maybe, or just whatever choice. Batman jumping from the greenhouse to the roof. It was like, like it was like so. Oh my God! Something. Oh wow! And it was like, yeah, okay.
It was a 4-foot jump.
Yeah, and then later Robin has to do like a backflip.
A double backflip.
Yeah. Like, okay, you guys can just not be on the roof. You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
I do. Okay. That moment, though, made me realize that there are some things that Dong Yang does that other companies don't, that at least in this episode, that I appreciated. Robin, like, landing and kind of doing like I didn't quite stick that. And then when Batman, and right after that, Batman's like, or doing the weed killer thing. He's like, what are you doing? What's that? Insurance. And he does a little like head, like come with me this way kind of nod thing that I've not really, and hadn't really picked up on as a kid before. So I think that was pretty cool. And just a handful of little things like that, little expressions, little motions that are like, you didn't have to do that. Yeah.
They grabbed the humanized knob and they turned it up to like 60.
They sure did, yeah. I get the reference. No one else does. But that's what we've been working on the theme music. There's a humanized knob. And I say, turn it into a human? I don't understand.
Thanks for that,
Batman's
Jamie.
usefulness this episode.
Oh.
He's pretty useless. I mean, at the end, no, even at the end. Like, he's successfully melted the sloths, but every other thing, even capturing Poison Ivy, he failed at. So.
Yeah.
And
4?
He failed at knowing anything that was going on. Yeah, I'll give him 3 Nina Tuckers out of 10. Which is the little girl that gets combined with a dog in Full Metal.
Oh, that's yeah.
As soon as you heard the mommy, you just went Edward. Yeah. And I was like, it is pretty similar. It's not quite as creepy. Like, you don't have that visceral like gut like oh my god feeling, dude. But like just hearing the mommy, I just went like Jesus or something. I was like, because I knew it was coming. Yeah, it is a very successfully creepy scene, I think. But then it gets goofy immediately when all the naked sloths are fighting and they're not doing anything. They're surrounded by like a dozen of them and they're just going and just standing there allowing Batman. So Robin, sorry, this is the thing that bothers me. Robin takes the clippers. There's like 3 of them in front of him and he just with the clippers and it's all and then he clips it off like you could move and then who else wants to get their weeds whacked and then Batman like drops down from the ceiling and just holds his cape in front of him while again there's 3 of the monsters in front of him and he's like stay with Carlisle and does a bunch of stuff and then shoots up into the ceiling and
none
of
the other guys are doing that.
We're
before they were really
happening.
adept.
Yeah.
So on that line, I'm gonna give them I'll say 3.5. You can convince me to go down a bit.
Okay, yeah.
Sloth pedicures out of 10.
All right. Well, what will happen when they turn back into people? Is this episode books or hip hop, Brian?
Books.
It's pretty books. It's got a wee bit of hip hop.
Maybe it's a book of hip hop lyrics.
It's like a Lovecraft book or something, you know.
Oh, really? You think so?
For part of it.
Yeah, I guess so.
The last
There's a few minutes.
bit of the bit, you know?
Yeah.
Do we put this on the top 10? Right?
No.
You don't?
No.
I was going to, before we watched the episode, I opened up the top 10 thinking like, I think this will make it. Where will I put it on the list? But I don't, after watching it, I don't think I will. I think there's some good ideas in this. Like it like I said, I think it succeeds at being really creepy at that one moment, but then it kind of dies quickly. Mm-hmm. And you did like, that's a cool twist when Ivy, she could replicate herself and then melts away.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the basis of the like clone theory thing that I did that whole video on, or like the starting of it anyway. I was just like, oh, how long was she that thing, kind of a deal.
So does that mean I can almost watch that video now?
Nah.
Damn it.
But yeah, I don't think I'll put it on the top 10 either.
Cool.
It might have made it if I was just selecting episodes before we did this podcast, but I think I'm doing it now.
Yeah, no, it is. I appreciate what you're saying, but it is definitely just a little too goofy for me to be anything noteworthy. Imagine being like, oh, this is such a good episode. Come watch this. It's in my top 10. And you watch it and you're like, huh?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, was like at the end, so I almost got mad at you at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
Because like there is that shot of the sun rising and it's rising so fast. Like it was just like, what? You were like, what is, and I was like, right before it was about to happen, I knew it was going to happen. And I was thinking like, oh, I hope Brian doesn't notice this. He's going to say so. Like, what is happening with the sun? I'm like, God damn it. And like Batman's giving his like final little like narration thing of like, maybe someday this important dialogue kind of a thing. And you're like, what's happening with the sun? And now it's nighttime? What is going on? Can we rewind that? And like, shut the fuck up. Things are happening.
Yeah, but distracting things are also happening.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, like I sincerely, and I guess you're right, like maybe it was like dust on the painting or whatever.
It did. I
but
see
like
what you mean.
the sun is rising and then it cuts to Batman. It looks like he's standing in front of a jet black night sky with stars in it. What was that the moon? I'm confused.
It cut to 12 hours later, yeah. I don't know. All right. Now we go to the mail section.
Mail section.
This has been the mail section, and now it's the mail section, or the mail. We're going to do that in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I play the mail song?
Yeah.
What I do? Here I go. Yop.
Add one small extra
It's been a while.
Put it over.
We dropped
What we drop?
our weekly yachts
Oh yeah, those.
into the comment box.
First!
There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're all
At least I am.
just Dylan Pollock.
I gotta do the harmony now. That's the thing
sweet.
I do now.
That's the new thing.
It actually has been a while because we didn't play that song during the Mask of the Phantasm mail because I did not have the soundboard with me. So there you go. Thanks, Kimmy. I'm going to mention up top instead of at the end of the podcast, because I was purposely not doing it at the end of the podcast. If you want to send in a mail, you want to send us a reach out like the fire hand at the end of the Cat in the Claw Part 2. That's what I say. You can mail podcast. No, what is it now? Batwagonpod@gmail.com. That's what it is. Thank you, Brian. Or, comment on the Podtower YouTube channel. We'll read some of the comments. Now you know what to do. If you get to this part and you're like, the mail section, I'd just like to know how to send mail, and I'm not going to listen to any of it. Now you can do that. Also, I am going to, from now on, until I change it again, inevitably, I'm going to only be reading one piece of mail from every person. So if you send in an email or a voice message or whatever, or a comment, I'm picking one of them. Okay? I assume that if you sent in multiple and you have a voice message, that's the one you would prefer I play. But now you know for the future. Still, please leave comments on the Pod Tower. Even if I don't read it on here, it helps the algorithm beast send the podcast around the places. So do that.
And just so you know, it's not that we don't respect or appreciate or cherish all of your contributions
I
to
hate
our
everybody.
mailbox. James does. I love it. But
Now Jamie's mad.
We're trying. We're just
Jamie's
trying to find
angry.
Rocks.
Rocks.
We're just trying to find ways to kind of streamline, and that's sometimes mail section can get a little out of hand. So we're just like, we're gonna try to whatever this is. What's this motion I'm doing with my hands?
Consolidation. Smallening.
This is my consolidation movement.
It's like you're kind of massaging a hot dog into a different shape.
Is that what that was?
I don't know. That's what I got from it. I also think it's telling that we didn't discuss that I was going to say any of that, and then you knew immediately why I was saying all of it. So I think that's the reason.
Oh, yeah. I guess that just
you knew.
I mean, isn't it obvious? We do this.
Yeah.
We do this every week, except for the last 5 months.
First up is we got a new review on Apple Podcasts. This is from Siddiq84. Are you a fan of Batman, Superman, and the DC Animated Universe? Check out this podcast. Jim Jam and Brock are amazing hosts, and I could listen to them yop all day. This show has created an amazing community of listeners, and I look forward to hearing from them every week. Perfect. Thank you. Beautiful. Oh, it's the wrong button. There we go. I blindly reached for the button with my phone, blocking my vision.
I just realized that for me just cemented
That's
a
what you were
part
trying to say.
for me within you and Jessica's relationships, because we got the whole like Jesse and James thing going on. Mm-hmm. Brock.
Yeah, you're Brock. We need an Ash and a Pikachu and a Misty. And then we've got the I think Aaron's Meowth. I think my baby's Meowth. That makes sense. They can talk about just as well as each other.
Kiba is probably Pikachu.
That's true. He can only say like one thing right now, so that's about right.
Yeah.
Or various forms of the one word, yeah.
Yeah.
And
that word is Rue.
Okay, so actual Yoppie Mail.
Yes.
That's the wrong folder. Here we go. This is from Scrudge. Scrudge's Utility Belt List Season 1. He sent it to us before. This is an addendum. In a few instances, I list one of the items as small tongs. This is because I had forgotten the word for tweezers. All right, thank you for the clarification there.
Love that.
This is from Fiacra Horgan. Yoppie Mail for House and Garden. Hey, Brian and James, last week's Mask of the Phantasm episode was awesome. Yeah, it sure was last week, wasn't it?
Definitely last week.
Not 5 months ago. It was like eating a 3-course meal from a 5-star restaurant, like Zorba's food, perhaps. The endorphin rush I got from getting a hearty Brian laugh and a signature James chuckle from my comment last week was great. I'll be chasing that high for some time. Anyway, on to the episode. I remember enjoying the previous Ivy episodes as a kid, but man, House and Garden is a step above the rest. This one was always a favorite of mine. As a kid, it captured my imagination due to how eerie and unnerving the third act is. The atmosphere is great, and the redemption story for Ivy is a unique one. I like how Ivy truly does want a suburban happy home life. It just has to be on her terms, which are sadly a little fucked up. The line, Chris and Kelly are girls, still gives me chills to this day. One odd thing that I'm sure you have mentioned is how often Batman is out in broad daylight in this episode.
Oh my God,
that was
yes.
half the stuff we talked about. It's such a weird choice, but I think it works as it lulls the viewer into a false sense of security, which makes the darker twists and turns that emerge near the end of the episode that much more effective. I can just imagine those poor people at the farmer's market looking up and thinking, wait a minute, is that Batman hiding in a tree with binoculars? Get down from there, you creep. Also, woohoo, now Brian can watch the Poison Ivy Planner Person video, some of it at least. Great episode overall, easily in my top 10 of BTAS. Yop. We didn't love it, but it was not bad.
You know, it's kind of funny, though. I love listening back to people be like, oh, I loved it because of this reason. Then I'm like, oh, yeah. You know what? That's a really, like, I just realized that the Batman in the Daylight thing, like, I complain about it because it being weird. Although now that I think about it, it's like almost Lynchian, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like purposefully weird so that you're like caught off guard later.
It's like the
whole time. Yeah.
It's like the entire first half of Mulholland Drive having the voiceovers.
Yeah,
like people did oh God, what is that called? Not re-recording.
ADR. Like
ADR. Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of sets you off on that, like, why is this so wrong? Kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Ooh, I need to like take that
now
back and have an extra
the episode.
Yeah. Just like a Lynch film, you got to watch it like 8 times.
Yeah, really, to catch all the squash that she buys. Dino-faced individual House and Garden hench reviews. Review submitted by Cactus Cooler. Hi, this is. I don't remember what my name is. I think it wasn't. Did we give him a name? It was like Saunders the Sloth or something.
I think so.
Wait, did Ivy even give me one? I would ask her for one, but I'm currently dying after a full life of 4 days. I figured I might as well contribute to society in some way before I dissolve into jelly. How would I rate Poison Ivy as a boss? Mom? Wife? Nope, not thinking about it. I'd rate her pretty highly. She's caring, kind, perhaps a little crazy, but what mom, wife, boss isn't? I'll give her a 4. Seriously, Freud has to have talked about this out of 5. Thank you. Yeah, good stuff. This is from Tip Tapricot. Contemplations on House and Garden.
Tip to Precate.
Alrighty, here are my contemplations of the week on House and Garden. I'm really glad that this was what started out this sort of section in the season, because it is one of my all-time favorite episodes of BTAS, and I think is one of the ones that really shows how they got used to writing the show. They got their legs with it. Because the pacing was really good, the suspense was really good, everybody was voice acted really well, and it felt smooth. I think the animation was also really well done, like the part where Bruce is in the water, the like streams on his hands as he was kicking up towards the surface were really well done. And it was super creepy too, like the entire reveal of the kids, like our new domestic children are girls, and just Ivy's whole switch up and realizing that she's growing like little weird goopy guys in her basement, and ooh, it was so good. And like the melting with the weed killer, fantastic. And I also got to watch it with my sister. I was like, hey, it's Tuesday, I've got to watch a BTS episode, do you want to watch it? It has Poison Ivy. And she was like, yeah. And so we watched it together, and it was great. Awesome Mask of the Phantasm episode. It was so cool to hear everybody's thoughts and hear Brian enjoyed it. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You too. Man, I can already feel it that like everyone's gonna have all these things to say about it. And be like, oh fuck, I got to go back and rewatch it now.
You're right. That was yeah. Well, it's always when we watch like the first episode of the chunk that we're gonna watch on the weekend that we're like still sort of like, hey, we just started hanging out again, and we're like chatting, and we're kind of like, oh, what things can we make fun of? It'll be funny to make fun of stuff, and I think that influences us slightly, not a ton, but it definitely like. I still, like I said in the podcast, was like, this episode was not as impactful as I remember it being as a child, but it was still good. Like I still will watch it again and not go like, man, it's ruined for me now or anything.
I'm going to watch it again and just think David Lynch thing.
Yeah. They also added for after the message. Also, since I haven't said it outside of the comment section, the Zeta month finale and the entire month in general were done so well. Loved the effects and costumes and story and acting. Fantastic work, and truly so cool to see people who've been in this pod in it and to contribute. Yeah, mostly Brian a lot, but also the people on the screens, I'm pretty sure is what you're talking about. And just to see that all that you guys made last year, here's to another. And to all listener out there, I'm sending love and vibes as we begin a new 2023 chapter in each of our still connected from the hive mind lives. Take care of yourselves, nurture yourselves like Ivy nurtured her weird plant family, just without the growing into muscle stretch men or melting from weed killer. Thank you. That's a good sentiment.
Great words.
Yes. Greater words have never been melted by a weed killer. Scotty Cameron says Joker used to be Homer Simpson. Hey, Yoppie dudes. Great show as always. Loved that Brian enjoyed Mask of the Phantasm, that lived up to the hype. I never thought of Phantasm as a DCAU interpretation of the Reaper. I thought of her as the DCAU Spectre, where she was killed by the Joker with her parents, and her smoke power was a result of her being dead. So Andrea was back, not just back to avenge her father, but to avenge herself too. Maybe my theory was way off, but it was an interesting contemplation. It was prompted by watching the DC showcase the Spectre before rewatching Mask of the Phantasm back in high school. That's an interesting thought. If not for the fact that she does come back later in a couple comics. I talked about this in that episode.
Oh, did you?
the sequel comic to the movie, where it's pretty. Oh, right. That would be because even on the end of the movie, where she's like standing on the boat and she's in almost like funeral attire, like she's got the little like veil thing in front of her face, and she's in like all black and stuff. That would be a pretty cool reading of the movie. I've not really thought of that if she's dead the whole time. Let's see. Question on DCAU movies. Maybe you've answered it indirectly or directly. Will you watch Last Son of Krypton, World's Finest, Secret Origins, and Starcrest as movies or episodes? Will they be counted as films regardless of how they're viewed given their release as films? I don't know. I think that'll be a case by case, probably, whichever version of it came out first. And I'm pretty sure they all released as episodes first. So I think we will be these are all like either series premieres or finales that are 3-parters. That also then got released on DVD as like this thing, the movie, even though it's not a movie. But I don't think we'll be counting those as movies just because they weren't produced as movies or whatever.
Right, yeah. We're doing this the way they did in the 90s, so...
Yeah, exactly. I just watched the Zeta finale and caught up on the Zeta month stuff over my holiday break. It was great. Glad to see Cal, Liam, Dylan, Michael, etc. on video. I laughed at that Maddie can't say verses. Me too. Thank you. This is from Scarlowy1. Ah, yeah, Season 2, Episode 1, baby. Earl the Mechanic, whatever it was called. I don't remember.
Hello, listener, and welcome to Season 2 of Jump on the
There we
Mechanic
go,
Wagon.
that's
I'm your
right.
host, Scarlo2, I mean 1. In this episode, I will tell you about Season 2, Episode 1 of Earl, the animated series, Car and Driver. One day, while Earl was sitting in the dentist's office, he saw a man stealing magazines. "What are you doing?" asked Earl. "I'm taking what is rightfully mine. I am the magaziner." Earl decided to ignore the man, but the man kept talking. "When I was a boy, my parents didn't let me watch TV or go to the movies. My only entertainment was reading magazines when I went to the dentist office." "Cooper?" called the receptionist. "Thank heavens," said Earl in relief as he went into the other room for his appointment. When he came out, the magaziner was still talking. "My landlord told me I had too many magazines and that it was a fire hazard, so I killed him."
Oh, okay.
Dang.
Magaziner is one of my favorite villains. I hope the rumors of him being the main villain of the next Batman movie are true. Anyway, see you next week. Same PP time, same boo-boo channel.
It's funny how you can pretty much add like the noun "er" to like anything, and just like it sounds like a Batman villain. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
The speaker or
the microphone or oh shit, that's all that we can see right now.
the camera.
I will just because I read it already to myself, I'll break the rule real quick. There was a Fiacre Horgan follow-up. Intense voiceover. "It's been 2 weeks and still no word from Bric-a-Brac and Jim Jamity. I'm sure they just forgot to post the episodes, or at least that's what I keep telling myself. I started getting cold sweats 2 days in. The shakes have been here the past 24 hours. I'm starting to see hallucinations of Boss Biggest and the Sewer King. What will I do without Dylan Pollock's Thoughts of the Week, Keen Machine's goofy audio message wizardry, Jordan Blumen's musical minute, Tip Apricot's highly informative and lightning-fast audio message, etc. Please, I need to know what happens next in the next episode of Earl, the animated series. Dear God, what will I do? How can I go on? I think I should just go outside. A bit of sunlight and human interaction might help remedy my plight. Oh no, it's even worse outside. I start randomly shouting yop and asking people if stuff is books or hip-hop, and they all look back at me like I'm insane. Thanks for indulging this silly message. Hopefully my house and garden is in the inbox somewhere. I hope you guys had a wonderful winter break." Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Last email before we head to comments is from the Sewer King. Where have you been? Hey, Yoppie dudes. It's been a month since your last episode. Yes, it has. So much so that I forgot the login information to my previous sock puppet account dedicated to one-off villains and BTAS, and it's all your fault. Yes, it is. So what's the holdup? Don't want to review House and Garden? Don't want to talk about how Ivy kept an Arkham Asylum psychologist hostage so she could create a fake normal life? Or how about the fact that Robin managed to know Carlisle had daughters, but Gordon somehow didn't find it odd that Carlisle had sons, even though the GCPD record should show that he had daughters and not sons? I do like the humanization of Ivy and the hulking monsters she creates. I'm glad it was a boss in Batman Vengeance. Yes, I am. Hurry, and release the next episode for your teacher, your master, your king. Ready I am. Stay Yoppie. I hate that, but I also love doing that. Yeah. You can tell.
I also hate it.
All right, let's head over to comments on the last episode, which was Batman Mask of the Phantasm, or Joker used to be Homer Simpson. This is from Etienne Parizat. As a Mexican, I got excited to hear which one was the Mexican band Brian was obsessed with. This was someone asked your much listened to music, and it's kind of funny that I have no idea who they are. Nonetheless, thanks for the recommendation.
What?
What was the band? What was it called?
Little Jesus.
That's right. Yeah, Jesucito. I remember.
Yeah. They're so good, and they're such nice guys.
Do you know them? You've talked to them in person?
Met him in Portland.
That's cool.
And Alora hung out with them a bit when she was living in Mexico.
Oh.
Had some VIP thing.
So these guys are famous, and I don't even know who they are. Gosh. Actually touching. What a suitably epic way to end the year. I mean, I started watching it in 2022 and finished it in 2023. That's right. This was so epic that it broke the Yop Time continuum.
Yes.
I'm so glad that Brian liked Mask of the Phantasm. Really made this episode feel like a huge celebration of the best parts of BTAS. With the passing of Kevin Conroy and it being the end of the year, it made it all feel more poignant. I hope you both have a Yoppie New Year. 2023 sees you both reaching new heights. Enjoy some well-deserved time off. We did. And we'll all be ready to yop on the Yop Wagon again as soon as you shine the wagon signal in the sky. You thought I was going to say Yop signal, didn't you? That's called subverting expectations. Thank you so much. Zane Beatty, great pod, Yoppie dudes. Thanks so much for all you put into it. The scene of an injured Bruce fleeing from the police had a young me at the edge of my seat wondering if this could really be the end of Batman. Still so powerful all this time later. Thanks, Mark, for the shout-out in the pod roll call. A very pleasant surprise, as I'm simply an avid listener and occasional commenter. I was honored. Lastly, if you listen... Sorry, I thought my child fell down and was screaming, but he was just laughing. Lastly, if you listen to the pod on YouTube, don't forget to like the video, as I'm sure it helps the channel. It does!
Yes.
Thank you! Hey, we didn't have a Dylan Pollock. Oh, shit. I didn't even look at the voice messages on Anchor. I completely forgot. I'll put a pause on the comments here to see if there's any in there. I expect there's at least a couple. And then I will come back to the comments. There are literally two. First is from Dylan Pollock. What do you know? Here we go. Fertilize your ears with these thoughts.
It's time for the Thoughts of the Week with Dylan Pollock on House and Garden, or our plant baby has become a plant man. Gosh, if we only knew what happened to Poison Ivy in the time between this and the next time we see her. If only somebody could give us more information. Oh, well, I guess we'll just never know. And honestly, you ran down here and Dick was gone. Bruce's dick, they just took that dick so ruthlessly. Really savage dick. How will Bruce ever come out of this with his dick? Okay, in all seriousness, knowing that Ivy ends up being a clone too, why didn't she make the kids female clones? She says she couldn't have used Steven's DNA, but she could have used hers. It's basically the main thing that ends up giving her away.
Oh, yeah?
Also, just want to point out, this is probably Diane Pershing's best performance, and she makes you totally buy the rehab the entire episode. I fully remember believing, like, oh my god, does Ivy go straight? Is she not a criminal? Okay, question of the week, James's favorite part.
Oh, yeah.
Which B-Test villain has the best costume? And if you had to rank a couple of them, who would you put in the top three?
Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm going to have a hard time not comparing them to, like, future costumes of the characters that Brian doesn't know about.
Clayface.
I don't know. Clayface's skin
Because, like,
costume.
his body is the costume, so that's pretty epic.
And his melty skin beans. I don't know. I mean, Two-Face is pretty good, like, in a unique new costume for the character and stuff. I'm kind of just looking at my wall of action figures to get an answer here.
You know who probably has the worst is Robin.
Did he ask villain? Did he say villain or did he say character?
I mean, Robin's a bad guy.
Oh. You don't like Robin's costume? This is the first I'm hearing.
I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like Christmas colored and you throw in gold and it's just a little like, I don't know.
It's circusy. I don't know. You know circus stuff.
Oh, no. That's black, white, and red.
What about, would you prefer to him to have the Adam West Robin, just like little boy shorts and like...
I mean, prefer?
Would you? Yeah. And what's the other Robin costume? There will be a couple other Robin costumes that we'll get to see. So you can start formulating a top 10 Robin costumes.
Oh, I can't wait. Also, how the hell does Dylan always like know
Say the
all
same
of our
stuff.
jokes?
I think that was a pretty low hanging dick.
Maybe that's just the secret. We're just super immature.
What are the
all
easiest
obvious
things to pick up on? Yeah.
That's not that easy to pick up on. You know what I mean?
He's too heavy. His penis is large. I think what did he say about Poison Ivy? It was the like why could she clone herself? I don't know. She just said that she could. There was no. I think it was just specifically her she could do, but not other girls. I don't know. This is from Scarface Nate, an episode about a Yoppie family and turning a new leaf. Wink, wink.
Hey, Yoppie mates. It's great to officially be back. And what a better way to start off the new year than with new Yops, new beginnings, and new seasons.
I couldn't agree more.
Trunking with the episode to the year. And let's try to be clever, all right? Anyways, hosting Yop, or Yop and Garden, whichever you want to call it. I really like this episode. It's a solid start to the adventures of Batman and Robin. I like the sort of monster movie atmosphere with the man cactuses, I guess it can be called.
Sloths.
I don't know. I also really like the dark and eerie atmosphere, especially at the end when the twist happens, which in and of itself is pretty dark and creepy, which I like. I also like how this advances Ivy's character talked about in a certain video uploaded by the Watchtower database, Club. You're welcome, James.
Yeah, thank you, yeah.
I find a nickel for every time Robin gets captured or held hostage. I have a quarter on nickel right now. Also, Batman being able to Tokyo U-turn drift. Also, how did you not know what's going on with Ivy? Well, good detective, am I right? Anyway, stay happy.
Yeah, I think we commented on, like, Batman really couldn't figure that out, but or he was just not very useful in this. I forgot about the, like, Chris and Kelly are girls, and then Batman does a Tokyo drift to turn around. Yeah, that was good. All right, now back to the comments from Jake Barrett. When I first saw Mask of the Phantasm, I loved the love story. I thought the love story was boring and too cheesy. I understood the twists before they were revealed and thought the animation was meh, but after watching all the previous episodes of BTAS for the first time and actually having a brain, it all clicked. I was heartbroken at the inner conflict between Bruce, whether being happy, crying a river over the love story that never was. The juxtaposition of how Bruce and Andrea deal with tragedy and vengeance. I discovered that the twists don't really matter if it's meaningless without the reveal. I would like to say thanks to you, Yoppie Boys, for creating laughs, insight to the DCAU, and guiding this wholesome community to go on this wonderful journey throughout this universe. Happy New Year's. Have a fun next year from Down Under. Oh, we have a... Right, Jake Barrett is Australian on the wall.
I'm on it.
We must catalog the Australians immediately. You could have just written is Australian and then started a list, not like...
Yeah, no, this is going to be a very awkward section of wall. Jake Barrett is Australian, Ashley Tutchin is Australian. I also have turbocharged piston poppers.
Poppers, yeah.
And get up on the Hydra's back.
Good. I'm glad that because you've had your various like whiteboards or other things written on the wall or whatever that are just like this funny inside joke between me and someone that's not James, and now I'm finally adding to the wall. I'm finally adding to the collection. Yeah. Super Luigi 64. My previous comment and replies to it seemed to be invisible, so until it returns, Batman confronts Andrea about coming to Gotham early to get Chucky Saul after saving her from the turbine. Oh, that's in answer to, like, why did we see Phantasm kill someone and then see Andrea on an airplane coming into Gotham? Oh. She does say she comes to, or Batman guesses, like, you came into town early to get Chucky Saul, but why would then she leave town and get on a plane only for the audience's benefit? I don't know. The shuriken was probably cut from the UK version for their ninja connotations. The 80s TMNT show being called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles there, and footage of Mikey's nunchucks being trimmed. Oh. Why? What do they got against ninjas? That's weird. Juan Pedro, Carl Beaumont is obviously meant to be a misdirect, but if you think about it, he technically is the Phantasm because Andy is literally using the ghost of her father to terrify his enemies as an angel of death. Jeff, oh no, we had Austin Trousers, we had, what was the other one? Pants something. This one is Jeff Britches. Maybe they change the account every time. Mask of the Phantasm has a narrative that's boiled down to absolute perfection. There's not an ounce of fat on this movie's bones. Just about every scene, line, and character are fully realized and utilized, whereas many movies today can tend to string you along through pointless minutia and mind-numbing action. Mask of the Phantasm knows exactly how to pace itself, perfectly blending the proper dose of action, mystery, and drama, and even sprinkling in a helping of genuine humor just to show off. An absolutely stellar film. I'm curious if you guys think this should one day be adapted to a live-action movie, or maybe it's better left as is. Personally, I'd rather leave masterpieces like this undisturbed, but I can't help but wonder what it would be like. Yeah, I think I also lean don't do it.
Yeah, I as someone who hates remakes and all this sort of thing, definitely don't do it.
And not everything has to be live action. Like, it can be its own medium. The Optower database says, meh, it was okay. About Mask of the Phantasm. Wency209, this is it, everyone. Not only are Jellyfish Fields and Bart Simpson finally watching what some have consented to be the best Batman movie ever made, but also this is the last Jump on the Bat-Wagon episode of 2022. I can't put into words how grateful I am to be in this small little community we got here. You guys are awesome, and I can't wait for what more you two do together in the future. Yappy New Year's, everyone. I'll see you all in 2023. Thank you, Wency. That's so nice. So nice. Kate-tastic, a discrepancy between the joke name in the video and the joke name in the YouTube title. I had accidentally left it as whatever the previous episode was for like half a day.
Oh, really?
I don't think I agree that with the synopsis calling it a mystery. When I was watching it, it didn't feel like it was setting up any questions that strongly. Also, it's sad seeing Bruce Wayne lose a chance at a happy life with someone.
Yeah, that was so heartbreaking.
Yeah. We didn't talk about... Okay, first, my brain's going 1,000 places. First, I guess I kind of agree that, like, the movie isn't being like, ooh, who's the phantasm the whole time. It's just like, there's a phantasm. The end. Like, there's not, like, a Batman trying to figure out who it is necessarily. There's just, like, him trying to stop that person. And then at the end, when it's like, it was a woman, then I guess that's meant to be like a reveal. But
yeah, it's more of a twist than it is a mystery.
Yeah. I guess you're building up in your head, like, obviously this is her dad or some other, Arthur Reeves or something. Anyway, yeah, we didn't talk about this at all, I don't think, in any of the new episodes we recorded, but like, having watched Mask of the Phantasm, is Batman, are you viewing Batman as like a different character than you were before because you know more about his tragedy and stuff like that or whatever?
I don't really think so. Like, I feel like it kind of, well, I feel like it kind of fills some blind spots.
Sure.
But not really like, that's okay. This is maybe the wrong thing to say. I don't even feel that that's as impactful as like Clayface's origin story.
Oh, okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is like, now that you like, because before when we're watching stuff, it's just like there's just Batman's there. He's Batman. And you don't really need to, or you don't know anything about why he's Batman or what makes him tick or whatever. And now you at least have more of that information. I just don't know if, like, maybe subconsciously, even when we're watching House and Garden and Sideshow and whatever the third one was, Avatar, which is spoiling the next two episodes, but you've already watched it, doesn't matter. That if you had like any sort of different takeaway, but if you,
I wonder. I mean, maybe it is more of like a subconscious thing where, like, I feel like there weren't too many like heavy decisions that he made in any of the episodes that we watched.
Well, and it'd be weird also if he like, I know the viewer has now seen my movie, so I will do something that I wouldn't have done otherwise or whatever. Yeah. So, whatever. Batgirl Fangirl, House and Garden. So, our new monster of the week is a cactus hybrid gingerbread man. There's a crying baby right here.
Hello, baby.
Why is there a crying baby right here?
Tell him to do some push-ups. Tell him to drop and give you 20.
Hey, stop crying and do military exercises instead. Ivy's been out of Arkham 6 months, got married, settled down to a new life, and Commissioner Gordon forgot to let Batman know. I guess Batman wasn't invited to the wedding. Good job as well. I wouldn't want a slice of Ivy's wedding cake just in case. Yeah, that was really weird that like Batman, who's like know-it-all. I looked at the list for 2 seconds and remembered everything on it or whatever. Was not aware that Ivy had been clean for half a year. Like, what?
Yeah, considering how long people generally seem to be staying in Arkham for, I guess that's pretty surprising.
Yeah, he probably knows every single time the Joker like breaks out, but like Ivy gets paperwork trail let go, and he's like, I had no idea. I stopped paying attention to the ladies. I don't know.
World's greatest detective.
Yeah. Boy, both Batman and Robin sure do like performing their gymnastic moves on Ivy's rooftop. Speaking of roofs, strongest greenhouse roof ever. I love this one. Definitely my favorite Ivy episode. It's dark and twisted. I would love to be a fly on the wall when Brian sees it for the first time. Well, you got it. BTAS is often credited for the creation of Harley Quinn and reinventing Mr. Freeze, but I believe one of its greatest accomplishments is how they presented Ivy. Intelligent, ruthless, cunning, and at times pure evil. They did a wonderful job back in the day. They set a standard for future incarnations of the character. I would agree with that.
You know what? If Ivy's choosing a perfect life for herself, I don't feel like Suburban was the one that she would choose.
Yeah, well, I guess it was sort of a
ruse.
Yeah, a cop out, not a cop out.
A cop in.
A cop in. There you go. Whatever the inept opposite of inept is. I don't know.
Is it adept? Did we decide that?
I think it's adept. I don't think we found that out in the moment, but I thought about it later. We were in the car and could not think of the opposite of inept. Anyway, terrific messages. Carly, Jordan, Super Luigi 64, Tip Tapricot, Dylan, Mark, and Keen. Keen Podcast, James, Brian, and listener. I wish everyone a Yoppie New Year. 5 stars and 5 scary yet hilarious cacti hybrid gingerbread men things. Otherwise known as
scary
sloths.
until you see their face.
Yeah, scary until later. Maddie says, Batman's getting laid. I don't know what that's about. What is that in reference to? Is that? It's Mask of the Phantasm. I'm so stupid. I was in House and Garden mindset still. I'm like, when
me
did Batman
too. Fuck
the sloth. I don't remember that. Or your butt gets a new air hole. Luis Felipe, simply the best Batman movie of all time. Very true. Lanola Cola, this is how you ring in the new year. Also very true. You can't do it any other way. Mark Aquino, literally all the things I already said apply here too. This thumbnail is a thing of beauty. Love y'all, Smoke Bomb. Thank you, Mark. And that's all the stuff. We did it.
We did it.
Kimmy on a roller coaster. It turns out would actually be nothing because she's never been on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
This is why I found that out. Listener, I had to let you know.
It would be
so
like,
if we all peer pressure
instead.
If we all peer pressure Kimmy into going on a roller coaster. I think that's what needs to happen. Kimmy, you're listening while making cups or something right now.
It just as somebody who's pretty, at least relatively aware of Kimmy's habits. Do not try to peer pressure Kimmy into something if you want it to happen. There's no better way to get her to, like, if you're like, boy, I really don't want Kimmy to wash these dishes, it would be, Kimmy, you should wash these dishes. It's going to be awesome. Everybody, hey, let's tell Kimmy she should wash these dishes. Then she'd like blow the house up or whatever.
Never do it. So do you have to tell her to, I think you're too much of a pussy to go on the thing. Would she do it? Or would,
nope.
She's just never going to do it. It's just not going to happen. That's okay. I guess you'll just never know Joy.
Who's Joy?
Like I said to her in real life, I get it, but you're wrong. So anyway, thanks for listening, and go back to the future or whatever. Past, where this is the future.
Let's go to the wherever. What's the next thing? Let's just continue on this timer.
Hang on. I got to get to the right thing. Let's go. This should have been the future transition sound all along.
That is a really good point. Okay, now press it and we can go to the future.
Oh, okay, here we go. You mean the past. This is the future.
Oh, I meant the past. Press it and we'll go to the past.
Oh, okay, cool. Here we go.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. All right, now here's the actual transition. And here we are back. We were doing the thing. Thank you. Wow. I've added a couple of things to my list of stuff that I want to say, okay? If you want to hear more discussion about this episode, check out the DCAU review and Tim Talk podcast, also available on the Podtower YouTube channel, just like this podcast.
Can you believe it?
I can.
There's just stuff. There's more stuff. You could do more.
There's other podcasts to talk about. There's other people that beat us to this idea. Except that they don't. They've already seen the shows, and Brian hasn't. That's the gimmick.
I'm the gimmick.
I'm the gimmick.
Hi, I'm Brian.
And I'm Brian. Yeah. And then, so the next episode, Brian, is called, and you saw the
Home and Garden
you
TV.
saw the thumbnail for it because we watched it on HBO Max this time. It's called Sideshow.
Yeah.
What do you think it's about?
Clayface and Joker having a hug off.
A hug off, you said?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
On the side?
Yeah.
It's a show.
Yeah.
It's a sideshow.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yep. I mean, have we had Killer Croc's origin story?
Huh?
Have we had Killer Croc's origin story?
No. Is that what you're assuming?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the first Killer Croc episode, Batman's like looking him up on the computer and very briefly says like he did this stuff, but that's what we're gonna watch. Batman on the computer going, he did this stuff.
Batman just like goes on YouTube, watches a bunch of like Killer Croc.
Just types it in, and then we get to watch over Batman's shoulder a bunch of YouTube videos.
It's gonna be like an MST3K style Batman watching YouTube of people he wants to fight.
I want to say thank you to Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, and of course Brother Broderick for all our musical themes this episode. I'm giving you credit for the new opening theme because you did most of the stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
I played baritone on it 3 times, and then I listened to you do the rest. I played the saxophone on the keyboard.
You did, because you said I was playing it like a person who doesn't breathe or whatever.
That's true, yeah. You don't breathe, so you don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to the Podtower YouTube channel for new DCAU podcasts every week, and please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. You may hear your review read on the show.
Well, also any podcast service.
True, but I'd only have that one, so I'm only going to look at that one. And I think we did have one that we might have read in the mail section, but I don't know because we haven't recorded the mail section yet.
Oh, hell. Wait, did we start off this episode with the new theme song?
We sure did.
We probably should have mentioned something about that at the beginning of the show.
No. People will get it. They'll be like, that's new. Interesting.
Good point.
New episodes of the podcast are released every Friday on the Podtower, as well as your favorite podcast feed and watchtowerdatabase.com.
Yep.
And that's it. And we'll see you next week for Sideshow Bob the Musical.
I'll hear you next week if you send in an audio message.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Good job, Munchie.
Thank you, Munchie.
Most of the stolen property was still in the lab, along with Ivy's toxin formulas.
Well, at least we have Ivy's toxins to form an antidote.
I'm just sorry she got away.
Me too, Robin. But I don't think we'll see her again anytime soon. Ivy lost everything she had. Everything she said she ever wanted. For what it's worth, I believed her. When she told me for the first time in her life, she was happy.